Good evening, Internet. The Real Shroom here. Happy Friday to you all. And tonight I'm going to head into Modern and play a League. And after a rough work week like this week was, I sometimes like to take out my frustrations on my opponents in MTG by bombarding them with an extremely rude control deck of some kind. And we're going to run Grixis back at them tonight, but with some MH3 touches. Let's take a look. So we are a Grixis Control deck of the variety that I like to play, you know, somewhere in between draw-go control and tap-out control, mostly tap-out control, but with some, like, you know, elements where we will hold up mana. We have everything that you would want from a Grixis. We have discard, so Thoughtseizes Inquisition, full 6 copies of 1-mana discard spells. Additionally, we have one Kroxa for an additional discard piece, and a Liliana of the Veil. Just to not let our opponents have those cards. We're also running a Narset as an additional piece to keep our opponent's hand size in check. You know, this prevents them from drawing more than one card a turn, so it prevents huge amounts of card draw from cards like the One Ring, which is awesome. We're also, you know, playing blue in addition to black, so we have our counterspells. We have a 3 of Counterspell and a 1 of Invert Polarity, the first MH3 card that I'm trying out tonight. Just a 1 of because it is a 3-mana instant spell, and it's hard to hold up 3 mana a lot of the time. But this is a counterspell where you flip a coin. If you win the coin, you actually gain control of the spell that you counter. Otherwise, you just counter the spell. So either way, you win. But if you use this to counter, like, a One Ring, for instance, you just gain control of it. And that's obviously very, very busted. So we got the 2 Spell Pierce, we got the 3 counter spells, the Invert Polarity. We've got a 1 of Drown in the Loch, which is a counterspell and a removal spell. Our opponent will have lots of cards in their graveyard because we are a discard-heavy deck. So that's why Drown in the Loch is extremely good for this kind of strategy. And, of course, we have a bunch of removal. We have 2 Fatal Push and 2 Long Goodbyes. I do like having the cheap creature removal in this format for those energy decks, for all of those flip walkers that are out there these days. Also running a 2 of Bone Crusher Giant, which the stomp side is like a cheap removal spell. This is also a way for us to circumvent the protection of the One Ring. We can because when we stomp something, the damage can't be prevented this turn, so it shuts off their protection. We can stomp like a creature or planeswalker they have on the battlefield, and then proceed to attack with our creatures and get in. And then we've got our card draw. We've got a couple of Preordains to help us find the pieces we need. We've got a 1 of Memory Deluge and a 1 of Jace the Mind Sculptor. Jace the Mind Sculptor? Who plays that card? I do. I think it's fun. So I'm going to play one, even though, you know, its day has come and gone. But if you can get it off in the right situation, it's still a very effective card draw piece if your opponent doesn't have Orcish Bowmaster. And then we're going to close out the game with our win cons. The win cons being a couple of Dauthi Voidwalkers, obviously extremely busted card when combined with discard effects, a 3 power unblockable creature. We got Kroxa, of course, which can come back from the graveyard to be a 6/6 that closes out games pretty fast. Another MH2 piece we're trying today is Psychic Frog. This is 1 blue and 1 black for a 1/2. Whenever Psychic Frog deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, draw a card. So it's a card advantage piece for us. Hopefully we should be able to get in, attacks with it because we have a lot of removal to keep our opponent's battlefield clear. We can discard a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Psychic Frog. I mean, it's not the best, but in a pinch, we can use this ability to, you know, make combat a little tricky for our opponent if they're deciding whether or not to block the frog. And we can exile 3 cards from our graveyard to get it flying to the end of the turn, making it evasive, making it more likely that it can get in and draws cards. This is, of course, a little bit of anti-synergy with Kroxa, because Kroxa also wants to eat up cards in our graveyard. The deck used to have 2 Kroxas and now has 1 frog and 1 Kroxa. So, you know, that's not ideal, and the deck isn't really the best Psychic Frog deck you could play for that reason. But I'm playing the Psychic Frog because I think it's cool and it'll be fun. And I don't know if I mentioned in the removal part of the go over, there's a Toxic Deluge in the main, which is also a Modern Horizons 3 card, which is a sweeper for only 3 mana. It does cost us some life, but it destroys indestructible creatures because it gives -X/-X. We get to choose how much life we pay, and it's a 3 mana hard sweeper, which is not something that you see very much in really any format of MTG without a serious drawback. Additional win cons we have, we got our Dauthi Voidwalkers, our Bone Crusher Giants, we got a Shieldred. You know, this card is just crazy, and as a 1 of, if our opponent can't answer it, it closes out games pretty fast. And we'll close out the game also with our Planeswalkers, one of Ashiok Nightmare Muse. I just love this planeswalker. It's one of my favorites. Makes an army of 2/3 tokens that can close out the game and exile our opponent's stuff, and also can do Dinrova Horror to bounce their permanents and make them discard. And we've got Nicol, Bolas, the Dragon God, who can draw us cards while making our opponents discard, who can destroy our opponent's stuff, and it's -8, just wins the game. It also has all the loyalty abilities of every planeswalker on the battlefield, by the way. So we have a one of Profane Tutor as well. This is a good, I just am a fan of this card. You know, it's Demonic Tutor is still good if you have to wait 2 turns for it in a deck like this that's controlled, that's looking to win in a long match. And being able to tutor up just the right piece when you have so many different answers in a deck like this, for instance, is very powerful. There's a total of 25 lands in the deck. Nothing too fancy. There's a Creeping Tar Pit for an additional mana-based threat. This is a very good creature land, actually. It takes only 3 mana to activate it, and it's a 3-power unblockable threat. We've got an Otawara and a Takanuma. For MH3 lands, we've got one... Where is it? Is it in with the cards? Yeah. Fell the Profane. One of these MDFCs that can come into play untapped for 3 life, but it's also just a 4-mana Hero's Downfall. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Why not? You know, the opportunity cost is really low there. And we've got a one of Waterlogged Teachings, which is one of the dual MDFCs from Modern Horizons 3. It's a Dimir land that comes into play tapped, but it also, for 4 mana, can let us search our library for an instant or card with flash, reveal it, put it into our hand. So this can let us tutor up, you know, a removal spell or a counterspell or something. We'll have to hold up 6 mana if we want to like tutor a counterspell and then counter something. But it can be used on our opponent's end step to tutor up an appropriate piece for the following turn, which is really cool. The sideboard contains additional graveyard hate pieces in the form of 2 Ashiok Dream Renders. These are also really good against decks with a lot of fetch lands, like money pile decks. It's good against Amulet Titan, preventing them from searching their library for all of those lands. Additionally, we have an Erebos' Intervention for graveyard hate, which doubles as removal against aggressive decks, can gain us some life. And one Surgical Extraction is just something we can play when we're tapped out to, extract all copies of key cards, stuff like Yawgmoth, I don't know, the One Ring, stuff like that. Speaking of the One Ring, we've got a one of Cast into the Fire to exile the One Ring. We've got a second Narset in the sideboard as well, against decks that want to draw a lot of cards, such as One Ring decks. Cast into the Fire also can just destroy any artifact. We've got some additional sweepers. We've got a second Toxic Deluge. We've got a Path of Peril to sweep away weenies, and we got a Brotherhood's End, which is also good against, like Urza's Saga decks, and can just sweep up all of those small creatures and small artifacts as well. Speaking of Urza's Saga, we've got a one of Alpine Moon to counter that. A couple of Damping Spheres are there for the Ruby Storm deck, decks that want to cast a lot of spells in one turn. Also good against Tron because it turns all their Tron lands into just lands that tap for 1 mana. And another MH3 card we're trying out today is Consign to Memory. This seems like it could be really good. It's a 1 mana instant. You can replicate it for 1. Not really sure how that would be useful. There might be some kind of corner case where there's 2 triggered abilities at once on the stack at the same time. I'm not really sure how that would happen. But anyway, it counters target triggered ability or colorless spell. So I'm kind of running this in the same slot that I have been running, like Vexing Bauble lately. You can counter the triggered ability from the pitch elementals to, stop a Grief from making you discard, or stop a Solitude from exiling one of your creatures, stop a Subtlety from countering one of your spells. Additionally, it can just counter a colorless spell, of which there are many in Modern these days. Tron is one of the most popularly played decks. There's tons of Eldrazi decks out there with all the new love they got in MH3. This counters like Kozilek's Command, counters all the Eldrazi, counters Karn the Great Creator. I just have a feeling this is going to be an excellent sideboard piece, and I'm looking forward to trying it out tonight. So that is the plan. We're going to interact with our opponent everywhere that we can in the game. In their hand, we'll make them discard the cards. On the battlefield, we'll kill their stuff. On the stack, we'll counter their stuff. We're going to keep drawing cards with all of our card advantage pieces. We'll close out the game with our threats and our planeswalkers, and hopefully have some fun as we do so. Now, I did play a version of this without MH3, obviously, a few months back, and went 4-1 in the league, which is the best I've ever done in the league. So let's see if we can improve on that, or how this does in a new and significantly souped-up MH3 Modern format. Let's get into some matches. I hope you like it. If you did and you like off-meta, off-kilter MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Our first match is against Dane2343 will be on the draw. And yeah, our hand looks fine. We'll keep. Alright, we draw Inquisition turn 1, so we do have a Counterspell in hand. I think I will shock a Watery Grave. And Inquisition. Opponent fetches a Surveil land. Surveilling to the top. Bowmasters. Marionette Apprentice. Whenever the creature or artifact is put onto the graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. Fabricate 1 so they can like create a token with it. They've got a Grave Crawler. They don't have any zombies currently. Spymaster's Vault. This is the one that lets them connive. Well, the most powerful card in their hand is certainly Bowmasters, so I think we'll take that. Gravecrawler is annoying, though they don't have any zombies that they're showing. There's a Thoughtseize. Takes our Counterspell. Alright, we'll just play our fetch and pass. So they drew a second one of those vaults. Okay, those are the 3 cards in their hand. Bogart, Bog, and the 2 Marionette Apprentices. We'll take a hit from the Gravecrawler. So they're gonna put a counter on it. Well, let's Fatal Push it. And let's fetch. Give me priority. Give me priority. We'll fetch our Xander's Lounge. Liliana of the Veil. It's not bad. I kind of feel like Liliana Plus wouldn't be too bad. They only have 2 cards in hand. But I think just casting a Bone Crusher Giant is good here, because it shuts down the Gravecrawler pretty well. This weird new Summoning Sickness thing. So that was their draw for the turn, was this fetch land. Okay, they're just running out of 3/1. Exiling my graveyard. Alright, so I could Liliana plus make them ditch their last card. That means I won't be able to play Ashiok next turn, though. So I think I'll minus her. They can sack their Gravecrawler. Play this Blood Crypt tap. Next turn, I can play Ashiok and start plussing. And I will trade Bone Crusher for this Bogarts. And I think Ashiok should do pretty well to close this game out. We'll see. Probably going to get another Surveil here. Nope. There's the Apprentice. Gonna go wide. Alright, I will trade the Bone Crusher. So they are clearly a sack deck and a graveyard deck. I'm not seeing the zombie synergy so far. They're conniving. Invert Polarity. Okay, well, let's Ashiok. It's kind of unfortunate to have to discard Invert Polarity, but I think I do it. And I can also Dinrova their thing. So we've got 2 active planeswalkers, and we're ahead on mana. Their graveyard is pretty nicely stocked. Flare of Malice, Stitcher Supplier. They unearth the Worn Soultrader. Okay. Which is a zombie. So they can play Gravecrawler too. They sack it to make a treasure. They can do that again. So they're gonna get a million connive triggers. Is that the deal? And make one of their creatures really huge? Alright, so now we'd like to draw like a Fatal Push. So they make that thing into a 6/6. Okay, so it's gonna take out Ashiok. Well, interesting. Toxic Deluge. Alright, that's not a bad draw. Pay 6 life. And plus Lily. Start getting her up there. They just pass with a card in hand. Bowmasters. You know what sucks? They're never gonna ban this card. Because they have so many bigger fish to fry in Modern. They got like Nadu, and after that, like Grief. The One Ring. Alright, they top deck another Soultrader, so now we're in big trouble. Alright, attacking Lily. Now they have multiple grave crawlers. Thoughtseize. We're actually just dead. Alright. They go wide enough to bring us down. So we want Surgical, Ereboses, Ashiok. Probably all of our sweepers. Liliana's no good. Invert Polarity seems pretty bad. Jace, because they have Orcish Bowmaster. They're not going to bring in Graveyard Hate because Drown comes out because we are bringing in our Graveyard Hate. What's a cut here? Kind of like all our stuff. Maybe a Thoughtseize. And one Counterspell. Maybe Spell Pierce would have been a better cut. Yeah, we'll keep this. I think I'll just start on tap land and try to Dauthi turn 2. They got a Soultrader, Bowmasters, okay. So yeah, let's play our dude and Dauthi. No attack. Alright, let's attack with the Dauthi. Let's preordain. Bowmasters. So they get to kill our Dauthi with the Bowmasters. Ugh, God, I hate that card so much. Do I want to draw Counterspell? Let's see, drawing Counterspell. So, will Fatal Push Stitcher Supplier or Bowmasters? Can't draw cards, you can't play 1 toughness creatures. It's an interesting choice. I think because we have another planeswalker in our library. Oh, now I can't Profane Tutor. Oops. Yeah, I should have just let that go. Well, I wanted to exile it, so I had to Fatal Push before the Dauthi died. But exiling Bowmaster I don't think really matters that much. So we're drawing Counterspell this turn. the surest sign that like Wizards is not never gonna ban Bowmasters is that they're now printing all their 1-drops with like 2 toughness, almost without exception, in their new power sets. There's the counterspell. Let's suspend our Profane Tutor. Bowmasters. Duress, that's pretty good. Takes Nicky B. There's the Soultrader. Well, they didn't mill any grave crawlers. That's good. I would love to draw like a sweeper. So that I could Profane Tutor for some graveyard hate. Hey, there's Brotherhood's End. And it wipes their whole board. It's gonna make some treasures on the way out. There's a grave crawler. And they unearth their dude. And they have another dude. Alright, now I'd like to draw. I guess another sweeper would be good. Still. Alright, they can just keep doing this until I die. Boo! MH3. We got Bowmastered. Sorry, it wasn't even MH3 that got us, it was Orcish Bowmaster. Round 2 opponent is Matus F34, will be on the play. This is a one-lander. Unfortunately, I think we have to mulligan this. It is a good one-lander, because we've got double Inquisition. We'll mull. Alright, this is a much better hand. We'll keep. And bottom. Probably a land. Devourer of Destiny. I think your first upkeep, look at the top 4 cards, you put one of those back on the top, exile the rest. Okay. So our sideboard hate should be good. I don't think Fatal Push or Long Goodbye are going to be so good. Repurposer, all is dust. Alright, they've been a Devourer of Destiny. Alright, let's Preordain. I think we do want to land, but we don't want Nicky. Play another tap land. So our hand is probably pretty dead against them. If they're like Eldrazi. Alright, Counterspell's a good draw. Oh, except they have Cavern of Souls. Thoughtseer. They took Fatal Push. Just as we draw fetch land. Boo! Alright, let's get our lounge. Steam vents. Yeah, we'll crack steam vents. We'll shock, rather. Whatever. I think we'll Dinrova the Thoughtseer, because none of our cards do anything anyway. If they want to Thought-Knot us again, our cards are all actually literally dead. Okay, they can take Narsets. Maybe I should have plussed. I didn't think about the fact that they could Thought-Knot whatever card. Yep, they have the Kozilek's command. So they can get off a huge bomber. Hugin's Labyrinth, exiling all his dust. It that heralds the end makes all their dudes into 1/2s. And they can still Thoughtseer. Yeah, I probably should have just made a token with Ashiok. That was a mistake. Our draw really did not line up well with what they're doing, though. That's for sure. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do we just kill some of their stuff? Certainly should kill that thing. Should we kill another one of their Scion things? Or should we save it for another It That Heralds the End in case they have one? They already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. Even if I kill one of their things, yeah, I'm just gonna wait. They have all the mana in the world. Trinisphere. I could counter this. I mean, everything else they're gonna do is gonna be uncounterable, right? No, their Kozilek's command I can still counter. I don't really care about this. Bone Crusher Giants. Alright, let's cast a Bone Crusher Giant. Devourer of Destiny. Uncounterable. Psychic Frog. Yeah, we're just dead to their board, right? We're dead to their board. Because we can maybe discard these 2 cards to block the Thoughtseer, but they still get in for 6. So we're dead. Okay. Well, let's try out our nifty new sideboard tech. We want our Damping Spheres. And we want our Consign to Memories. Should hamper their Kozilek's commands, at least. Anything else we want? Alpine Moon. Long Goodbye. It does hit their Lord, but I think 1 is enough. I think we also want another Toxic Deluge. Cut Invert Polarity again. Counterspell. See, Spell Pierce seems really, really bad. One more cut. Maybe Inquisition. Well, I'll keep this. They again have Devourer of Destiny. We'll begin with a tap land. Next turn we can Thoughtseize and hold up Consign. They've been a Thought-Knot Seer. Alright, let's Thoughtseize. So they're going to have an Ugin's Labyrinth and an Eldrazi Temple. Repurposer. They can actually cast the Repurposer on their next turn, which we don't want, so I think I'll take that. All their other stuff is super expensive. I need to draw land. That is critical. If I draw land, I can Damping Sphere and hold up Consign. So they exile one of their World Breakers. Land, please. Please. Yes. Okay. So I think what we want... Let's go grab an island and Damping Sphere. Slows them down tremendously. Dauthi Voidwalker. Okay, let's play our Dauthi Voidwalker. They go for Thought Knot. Counter it. Attack with our Dauthi. Actually, do I want to take their Thought Knot Seer? I could just cast a Thought Knot Seer. No, I think I want to cast a Thought Knot Seer. I don't want to attack. Oh well, guess we're attacking. I really would have preferred to just turn the Dauthi into a Thought Knot Seer there. I guess waiting one more turn isn't bad. Let's Profane Tutor. There's no way for me to back out of that attack. Ugh. And they do have the kill spell. That sucks. And what land do I want? I guess a Blood Crypt. Kill one of those things. Fatal Push. Alright, yeah, we'll Fatal Push that thing. Sowing Micro Spawn. Search your library for a land, put it onto the battlefield, and shuffle. If it was kicked, exile target land. Okay, so it's just a 3/3. Alright, let's cast this. What do we want? Just a land for Nicky B? I could Nicky plus... Or I could just kill that stupid 3/3. 2, 3, 4, 5. They still can't cast World Breaker. Or Devourer of Destiny. Yeah, I think I just want to cast Nicky B. Oh, there's Ashiok. Okay, let's cast Nicky. Black, black, blue. Whoops. Red, black, 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 blue. What? Oh, it's my second spell this turn. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Relic. Another land is good. I suppose. Let's Ashiok. Plus and make a token. Veil of Summer. Just to draw a card. They have 6 cards in hand. Pick your poison. Such a stupid card. And now they can... That unlocks their whole hand. Yeah, just take three. Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize you. Another Devourer of Destiny. And their hand is just so stacked. They can cast all this stuff too. Well, I gotta take Devourer. Blue, red, black, black, black. Gotta kill that. I'll block. Null Drifter. Gonna draw them 2 cards. So they have a total of three soul lands now. That's what MH3 has done for Eldrazi. Okay. Let's plus. We draw, you discard. They discarded the Stone Brain. Actually, we're just dead to their board. Another Devourer of Destiny. Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay. Alright, we're gonna be on the draw against Jace Small for round 3. Hey, maybe we'll get to try out our frog. We'll keep this. Of course, I don't know how I feel about running out the frog with no form of protection or interaction. Okay, so it's Merfolk. That's bad. It's a very scary deck. And they have the Magus of the Island fish. Every deck we've played has been a Cavern of Souls deck so far. No, it is not fun. Hey, there's a Lord of Atlantis. Alright, so we're gonna fetch... I guess we'll fetch our Triumph with this one. And then we'll fetch a basic Swamp. And we gotta kill this Lord before it gets bigger. untap target legendary permanents. So they can use that on Svelin, which presumably they have here, of course. Well, I think I will play Bone Crusher and just hope I can trade for it. Not likely. Guarantee you they'll just flash in a Lord. Probably after I declare the block. Or one right now and one later. Oh, Civilian has Island Walk anyway. Every time I play Merfolk, they get a turn 1 Ether Vial, like without fail, every time. Silvergill. Can I draw a Toxic Deluge? They probably have Flare of Denial. That's a card that deck likes to play. Another Silvergill. Steam Vents. So we're taking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's attack. Since we can't block anyway. I don't know, I have to shock here. Try for Shieldred. They violin a Tidebinder to stifle Shieldred. And we're dead here. Because even if I draw Toxic Deluge at this point, I can't cast it. Alright, well, that didn't go well. Let's go for all of our removal. The question always is, do you bring in hate? Narset seems actually good here. Do you bring in hate for the Ether Vial, or just hope they don't draw it? And they take out a couple of counterspells because they're a cavern deck. Cast into the Fire might be a decent card. It can pick off Silvergills if they don't have a Lord. I don't think Dauthi's great. We want stuff that can block. Could use Alpine Moon to name Mutavaults or Cavern of Souls. And a couple more cuts. Cut one Nicky B. Lily. Jace is just too slow. And I like Long Goodbye a lot. I like Fatal Push. problem is, like, all their stuff is unblockable too, so maybe Dauthi is good. Cut the frog. Try it like this. Alright, we've got a sweeper, some removal. Keep. Haven't been great about drawing hand disruption early these matches. I guess in a couple of games we have, but really it should be, you know, about half the time that we do. Close to that. No Ether Vial. I'm surprised. I'm absolutely astounded. Well, I mean, we're gonna be vulnerable to... We're gonna be vulnerable to the Magus. Silvergill. Revealing a Silvergill. Okay. So I could kill this. Hope to draw land. I could kill this. I would love to get down Narset before they cast their second Magus. But if I don't draw land for Narset, the cast into the fire is much better because it can kill 2 Silvergills. But I do have the Brotherhoods, and so I think I will kill the Silvergill and just pray for land here, please. I also could have stomped. That probably would have been better. Okay, we drew land. That's good. Let's play Narset. No more extra cards for you. You have Force of Negation. Yes. Wow. Okay. The exiled sink into stupor. All right. Let's play our land and sweep. Flare of Denial. All right, they play Force of Negation and Flare of Denial. There's the Lord. Alright, I'd love to draw land. A land would be the best. Kroxa. Alright, I guess I'll just Kroxa. Nicky discard. And I guess Stomp the Lord. Alright, they have one card in hand. Svilin. Yup. Memory Deluge. Ugh. Missing lands at critical junctures here. I guess we'll just cast Bone Crusher Giant. Just hope they don't draw another Lord. Which they do. And that kills us, because all their stuff has Island Walk. Oh, man. They just had it every turn. Mr. Right Meow is our opponent for round 4. This hand... doesn't have any type of interaction till like turn 4. We can Kroxa. They mold to 6. I think I'm also going to mold to 6. That's better. Opponent molds to 5. We'll keep 6. And we'll bottom an island. Oh, sorry, wrong scene. I was telling a story about how... Oh, so this is like a Johnny Cats. I've seen this a timeless version of this deck. So let's Thoughtseize them. A Johnny Adorned Pouncer. What is this? Your opponent's can't cast spells during your turn. Whatever one or more creatures you control with power greater than its power deals combat damage, draw a card. I think not. We'll take a Johnny. So the long and the short of it was I had to go to a different store than I usually go to. and they didn't have the razors that I usually buy. So I bought a different kind of razor, which seemed like it would be good. You know, like you think that like the more blades a razor has, the better it is, but that's not necessarily true. And I just cut off, completely cut off this mole that I've had for decades. Just cut it completely off. And it was gushing blood. It was painful. But I guess I gave myself like a biopsy, right? Okay. And we just continue drawing lands. I think I'll play a fetch. It's so weird. Like I've had this bowl forever, like since I was an adolescent. And it wasn't, it wasn't like cancerous or anything. But it's gone now. Probably gonna be a scar there. Alright, let's grab our watery grave. Counterspells. Good. I would love to counter this cat, so I guess that's what we're doing. We do need to answer these cats at some point. Is it time to bring Plague Engineer back in Modern? Because I could see how that could be good. Oh, does Plague Engineer have 1 toughness? That's the question. I think it's a 2/2. If it is a 2/2, it might be time to start sideboarding those again. To name Eldrazi? To prevent Kozilek's command from making all of those scions? Be good in this situation to name cats. Is always good against merfolk and zombies. Alright, we're taking 3. They pass. Preordain. I think I'll preordain. Inquisition Bone Crusher Giants. I think I want both of those cards. Do I want to Inquisition them or cycle Xander's Lounge? I think I'll Inquisition. Regal Leosaur. So they're a Naya deck. They're lacking red mana currently. Yeah, I guess I'll take the Kozilek. That's an MH3 card. Oh no, it's Ikoria. Mutate. A Johnny's Pride Mate. Oh, I should have countered that. Oh man. Just not even paying attention. It's okay though, I think. We are taking quite a bit of damage here, but Oh no, I shuffled away Bone Crusher Giant. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Fatal Push. I think we'll just push the Pride Mate. Counter whatever their next creature is. Guide of Souls. Yeah, we'll counter that. More Spell Pierce. Pretty useless. Alright. Let's cycle this Triome. Voidwalker. We go down to 1. Yeah, we lost to their 1 and 2 drops. That's kind of embarrassing. Well, shuffling away that Bone Crusher was a huge mistake, so let's redeem ourselves. Let's bring in all of our removal. Should all be very good. Brotherhood's End, even Cast into the Fire should be good. What don't we need? We don't need Spell Pierce. We don't need Invert Polarity. Oh, we want Erebos' Intervention. I don't think we need Narset. We can cut a Dauthi. Actually, they do have the cats that can, like, eternalize. We'll cut one Nicky B. Nah, Nicky B's removal. Cut Jace. Jace always gets cut. Because he's not a good modern card, that's why. And yeah, I will cut one Dauthi because I do want stuff that can block. Alright, I feel like we can beat them. Let's keep this. Opponent mulled to 5 that game too, and we Thoughtseize them twice. Well, Mr. Right Meow certainly keeping it in the tribe. I can respect that. They keep on 7 also. I don't think there's enough Beholders to facilitate a Beholder tribal deck. There's the guide. Well, we certainly will Fatal Push the guide. And I think we'll play another tap land. We could take 3 in Inquisition. I think we'll do that. Pouncer. Oh, they have the 1 ring. What? King of the Pride. That's an MH3 card too. Other cats you control get +2/+1. Wow. They're really trying to push cats over there. Preordain. Well, pretty sure I want to counter the One Ring. So let's Preordain. Profane Tutor, Bloodstained Mire. Those are both cards we want. So I think we'll top. And I'll play my Frog. Razorverge Thicket they drew. They also drew a Pridemate. Okay. Alright. Let's play a land. Let's... How do we want to do this? Would we counter King of the Pride if they played that? They certainly might. I really do want to get this Profane Tutor ticking. So let's do that. And let's pass. Okay. We will counter that in a heartbeat. Shocking to do so, unfortunately. I will discard Memory Deluge to my Frog to block the Pridemate if needed. Because I have Profane Tutor ticking down. I would kill the Pridemate. I'd have a 2/3 and I'd be able to draw a card. They do not attack. Takenuma. Okay, let's attack with our Frog. They don't block. So we'll draw a card. Brotherhood's End is a good one. The question is, do I play Takenuma? Or do I pitch it to the Psychic Frog to try to keep it alive? I don't really care if my Frog dies. That's fine. I have a Profane Tutor coming down. I have a Sweeper in my hand. They shock a Sacred Foundry. Eternalizing their cat. What's Memory Deluge? Erebos' Intervention. Thoughtseize? Alright, let's cast our Profane Tutor. Let's get what? Path of Peril? Shieldred? Path of Peril, probably. They got a 4/4 double striker. And we drew Nicky B. Okay. So let's give our frog flying. Let's get in and draw a card. The Pouncer does not have reach. Shieldred. That's pretty good. Let's Path of Peril. And Thoughtseize. King of the Pride. Yeah, we'll take the King of the Pride. The One Ring. Alright. Actually, we're in such a commanding position here. I don't think the One Ring is going to be enough. We're going to have an active Nicky B going on here in a moment. Even this cat deck is playing the One Ring. Sure, why not? Alright, let's play Nicky B. Blue, black, red, whatever. Black. Okay, let's try this again. Blue, red, black, black, black. Let's draw a Make You discard. Regal Leosaur discarded. The One Ring. We might lose to the One Ring. Certainly possible. There's the guide. There's a Pouncer. Mutavault coming after me. They don't have enough energy to trigger the thing. Alright. Let's play Shieldred. Hang on. First, let's fetch a swamp. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Play Shieldred. Plus, make you discard, gain some life. Then let's Brotherhood end. It's going to do 3 damage to Nick also, which is unfortunate, but we have no choice in the matter, really. Now Shieldred's really going to make the ring punishing to them. There's a Johnny. There's another cat. And they scoop. Okay. So they're playing the One Ring. Well, we have Cast into the Fire. I guess we do want Narset. Let's bring in our Narsets. Cut Liliana. Their board's just too wide. Oh, we have Surgical Extraction in. We don't need Surgical Extraction. Let's go with Dauthi. Cut a Thoughtseize. Okay, we've got a lot of removal. Sort of. We've got discard and a removal spell. We'll keep. We don't have a turn 1 kill spell for that, so they're gonna get a token. Hey, what's up, Larry Legend 710? Thanks for the follow. How you doing? I think this thing is way more threatening than a Johnny's Pridemate. Although they can cast the Pridemate. So, I need to draw some sweepers and removal. That's what I need. I should be playing Orcish Bowmasters is what I should be doing. Silly opponent with their 1 toughness creatures. Preordain, but we have no blue mana. What was their hand? Primate, Mutavault, Plains, Windswept Heath. They played Mutavaults. Pridemates, okay. I don't know. I don't like this position. Do I need to kill the Pridemate? Here comes the Mutavault. So long term, the Ocelot Pride is gonna be more damage than the Pridemate. If I kill the Pride, I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus another 6 next turn, which I don't have an answer for. As opposed to 3. As opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I would take now. Or 4 and then 5. I think I'll kill the Ocelot Pride. This might be the wrong decision. A Psychic Frog. Well, we can't cast Psychic Frog because we have no blue mana. They have another Mutavault. I think we're going to lose. Sadly. I probably should not have kept that hand with only 1 removal spell, no sweepers, no blue mana. It is a hasty keep. So I need a good series of draws here. Oh, they don't play Mutavault number 2. Another Pridemate. Hey, there's a blue land. Let's Preordain. Bottom. Shieldred. Play a Dauthi, even though it doesn't do anything. I'm actually just dead. Wow, that sucks. Well, very poor decisions game 1 and a very poor keep there. So, GG's. Alright, final match is going to be against Pangcho, will be on the play. Is that the Gitrog monster? Yeah, cool. Ravenous Ride. We don't have any creature removal, but we can keep this. We have a Thoughtseize, we have a Profane Tutor. go ahead and hurt ourselves here. Oh, they're black burn. So they're like Necrodominance. Soul Spike, not dead after all. March. Dauthi Voidwalker. They're a scam deck. Did I just take Dauthi Voidwalker? Probably. Alright. I'm gonna shock again. Suspend my Profane Tutor. They surveil to the top. Castle Locthwain is a new one. And they have the Grief Scam. So their draws were Castle Locthwain, Grief. They surveilled, yeah, they drew Castle Locthwain and then they threw Grief. Well, that was fun. So, March, Soul Spike, lands. Wait, they only have 3 cards in hand. Oh, they exiled Fell the Profane. Okay. Here comes Profane Tutor. What to grab here? A Liliana? Yeah, I could see Liliana. We gotta get rid of that Grief. It's gonna get marched, but that's fine. They have another scam spell. Nope, they just march. Sure. So Soul Spike plus 1 unknown. Land, please? No. Oh boy, would have been real nice to draw land there. Boom Masters. Do I actually just counter this? I think I do. Thoughtseize. Well, it's what we got, so let's play it. Going dangerously low on life here. Okay, they're empty-handed. Shelly, we need your help. Okay, can Shieldred get us there? Thoughtseize. Gonna take Ashiok or Deluge? Well, they don't have removal for Shelly, so that's very good for us. They take Memory Deluge. Let's draw land. Yes. Alright, we'll keep them in suspense here. And now I really like our chances. Play Ashiok. Make a 2/3. Continue gaining life. Counterspell. Excellent. Make another 2/3. That's lethal on board. They're gonna draw and lose 3. Now they're just dead to my tokens. Okay. We got there against Mono Black Scam. So... do we bring in Consign to Memory? I kind of like Consign to Memory. Shut down those grief triggers. Narset to stop their card draw. Cast into the fire for the 1 ring. I think I'll bring in a Brotherhood's End instead of the Toxic Deluge. Nah, yeah, because that kills like everything in their deck, right? And it doesn't make us lose life. Let's cut a Dauthi. They don't use their graveyard for anything, right? I don't think so. Jace. We'll cut Liliana. Right? Nah, we'll keep in Liliana. Cut our frog. And cut Invert Polarity. No, I'd love to snag a 1 ring. It'd be cool to do something with that card tonight. Cut a Thoughtseize. How about that? Well, this hand seems fine. We'll see how badly ripped apart we get by discard spells. It's slow. No turn 1 scam, please. Oh, they have it. They take Inquisition. Oh, they don't have the scam spell? What? What's the matter with you? Alright, play Xander's Lounge. I don't think Long Goodbye is very good against them. Probably should have ordered it out. They scry to the top. It kills Dauthi. Alright, we'll play Tar Pit. Bowmasters. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? Oh, what? No Bowmasters. Necrodominance? I think not. So they actually draw cards with Necrodominance. So none of this put cards into your hand. So we're just gonna sit on Narset. We're not gonna activate it this turn. So if they want to like march us, they're gonna have to discard their whole hand. I think next turn I will activate Narset since I do have a counterspell. But these long goodbyes are looking pretty bad. Bowmasters. Gonna ping Narset. Alright, let's minus Narset. Cast into the fire. Hey, that's not bad. Sure, we'll do it now before they can grow their army with another Bowmaster. Gonna march. We'll counter. Might have been better to save the march for the One Ring itself. Okay, I can't activate Narset again. They draw. More lands. Well, am I gonna bluff a counter or do I just start attacking? I think I'll wait. I'll bluff a counter here. They have Shieldred. Alright, need to find an answer for that. Boy, these are looking embarrassing now. If these were fatal pushes and not long goodbyes, we'd be in just fine shape. So, Narset's gonna die. I think since I have a counterspell, I think I minus, try to find a fatal push. Fill the profane? Sure. Let's kill Shelly. Thoughtseize. Well, I guess we're gonna counter that, because we don't want them to see how bad our hand is. Necrodominance. And now we lose. Another fetch land. Boy, we're kind of flooding out here. Just start attacking with our tar pit, I guess. Okay. Hand check reveals we have nothing. Pithing Needle, naming Creeping Tar Pit. Well, they only have 2 cards in hand, so is there a chance? You go down to 2. Bone Crusher Giant off the top? Fetch to thin the deck. Bone Crusher Giant. Bone Crusher Giant. They have Soul Spike. Alright, we just draw land. Going down to 2 again. Just more lands. Sorin. Well, actually is a valid target for Long Goodbye. Cling to Dust, their own Shieldred. Going down to 2 again. No fear. Memory Deluge. That's pretty good. Let's do it now. In case we get a planeswalker. Just all lands? Except for one Consign. Okay. Well, we can stop one trigger. Sorin. What is Extort? Whenever you cast a spell, you may pay that. If you do, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain that much life. Whenever you cast a spell. Stifle that, I guess? So, Bone Crusher Giant. Bone Crusher Giant. No Soul Spike. They go down to 1. They gain 2 life. Well, either way, they were going to 3, whether I stifled Sorin or Shieldred. Just more lands? Are you kidding me? I didn't mean to skip through my main phase like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Liliana the Veil, Preordain, Counterspell, Drown in the Lock. Drown in the Lock, Fatal Push. Well, I mean, we got a lot of looks at good stuff and drew a bunch of lands. Go down to 1. Inquisition. Malakir Rebirth. Surgical Extraction. Fail the Profane, Fatal Push. None of this really matters. Guess I'll take Malakir Rebirth. Alright, so they die to a Bone Crusher Giant. They scoop. Alright, well, we couldn't find the Bone Crusher. We had many turns where if we had, we would have won. So it's only fair that we should win that match. GG's. Okay, so that was a 4-1 for Grixis Control MH3 version. And, you know, this deck was good. I still like, you know, I like playing this kind of deck. It's fun. It's enjoyable. A few months ago, before the publication of MH3, this did go 4-1 in the league. My takeaway from playing Modern so far, since the release of MH3, is that you got to play MH3, which is unsurprising. It was the same when MH2 was released, you know. I've been sort of, thus far, like, just sort of sprinkling existing decks of mine with cards from MH3 here and there, and then losing to the decks that are running all the MH3 cards. As occurred tonight. You know, we lost to an aggressive Boros deck. We lost to an Eldrazi deck. That deck is gross. We lost to a lot of MH3 cards, and the solution to that is to play MH3. And I don't think you can get away in Modern without playing a lot of MH3 cards. And it's probably going to be like this forever? It's going to be similar to MH2 or perhaps even worse, because I think there might even be, I don't know, it's at least on power level with MH2, which means that pretty much every Modern deck going forward from here on out until eternity is going to have to run a bunch of MH3 cards, which is, you know, that's Modern these days. It's a block constructed format. As far as improving this deck to make it more MH3 viable, you could build an MH3 version of it using, like, energy cards, probably, you know, like Galvanic, Discharge, and Ether Spikes, and the other blue spell that gives you energy and draws a card. You know, the energy plan is really good. But just like a sort of a clunky, fair-ish, you know, a battle cruiser-ish type deck like this, I don't think these decks are going to be really viable in an MH3 world, which is too bad. But, you know, there's other formats to play too. We'll see. I think my takeaway, as I said, is I'm going to have to brew like a real MH3 deck whose core and build is like focused around those cards if I want to play more Modern, which I probably will in the near future. You know, it is a little bit disheartening to see what could be such a diverse format just sort of shrunk to a relatively small pool of viable cards because of the release of one set. But that's kind of just the way it goes with Modern. It's like there was MH2, there's MH1, there was MH2, there was Lord of the Rings, and now there's MH3. And yeah, Doomwake, a content creator who I'm sure you're familiar with, he did a couple of streams of a format he created called Pure Modern, which is like Modern with none of the Modern Horizon sets legal and none of the Lord of the Rings cards legal. That would be a format I'd be really interested in playing. So maybe if he does another tourney like that or something, I'll try to see if I can play in that and brew a deck for that. But anyway, I enjoyed it. I enjoy playing Grixis Control. I enjoy playing this type of deck that's like hybrid control. It's not a tap out control deck. It wants to stay up sometimes, but it also is not a draw go. And this plays lots of fun, clunky cards like Nicky B and Jace the Mind Sculptor and Liliana and, you know, Kroxa, stuff like that. But just doesn't cut the mustard in MH3 these days. So back to the drawing board, as they say. But anyway, I enjoyed it. I had fun. We didn't get totally swept. We took one game away from the Cats deck, which really we should have won. I made a bad mistake in game 1, where I shuffled away a Bone Crusher Giant that could have been a critical removal piece. Game 3, I kept a really bad hand that had just a bunch of discard, but on the draw against an aggro deck like that, it just could not sustain the pressure. It only had one actual creature removal spell, and they just had a really aggro draw on the play, so that was not enough. Definitely should have mulled that. But anyway, I did take one match away from Mono Black Necrodominance, which is an MH3 deck that's very, very strong. That's a legit deck, and we did beat it, so like this deck can maybe win some games here and there as is. It's playing powerful spells, you know, Thoughtseize is powerful, Counterspell, you know, the planeswalkers are powerful, I guess, if you can resolve them and on a relatively empty board. Shieldred is broken. But if you want to really succeed in Modern, you got to play MH3. That is what I've learned in the weeks that I've played different brews in this format so far. So if we come back, we'll be playing lots of MH3. You can rest assured of that. But anyway, I had fun. I hope you did too. If you did and you like off-meta, off-kilter MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Hope to see you in my next MTG vid. Watchers, have a good night.